the Whitetail Advantage Podcast with your host, Brett Bovin. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
What is up, everyone? This is the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Bovin. Along with me tonight is the deucer of the show, the deucer. And we have our guests as long as well. But you know what? We'll get to them when we get to them, when we feel like it. You know what? Yeah. Anyways, if this is your first time tuning into the show, thank you for tuning in. We do a live podcast Monday through Wednesday, starting in May. These next 2 weeks, we're going to be finishing out our schedule Monday through Thursdays. We do it 8:30 at night, Eastern Standard Time. Go for about an hour. Each week, we dedicate 3 days to cover a state, talk to different guests for each different day of the week, and we get to learn how they're successful out in the field and the rich tradition that they have hunting out there. And for instance, tonight we're in Kentucky. Excited to get into Kentucky land. It was a state that was on my list of considering moving to. So I'm anxious to hear about what our guest has to say for tonight. Also, there are going to be some nights where we don't have a guest. We do make a post on our Instagram and Facebook and our social media pages around 11:30 in the morning to 12 in the afternoon, who we're going to be talking to at that night. If we don't have one on for that tonight's show, for that day of the show, we're going to be saying, ask the audience. And it's up to you guys if you want to come on the show or not. If not, we're going to get a rant of me coming on here, talking what I think is wrong in America and what's wrong in the hunting world. If not, we're just not going to do a fucking show. But tonight, we do have a guest. His name's Don. If you do want to hop on for tonight's show, make sure to send us an email at brettbovin@whitetailadvantage.com or check us out on our website, and me or the deucer and I will get an email and we'll get you some information how to come on the show. This show can be controversial at times. People might not like what we have to say, and we might get banned, whatever. I don't care. So we'll figure out how to get around that. But what helps us spread the word of hunting, because hunting is dying in this day and age of social media and all this other crap from the government as well. All I ask is you put a quarter in the slot machine. What do I mean by that? Share the fucking show, please. That's all I ask. And it helps us spread the word of getting people out in the world in the hunting, because these kids nowadays, they're too focused on TikTok. And we'll get into that later tonight. I'm talking to Don a couple times so far. He's been on a previous show, and his mindset's just like mine. So I'm anxious to get into tonight's show. So with that being said, today is Monday, April 22nd, 2024. It's episode 59. We're covering the state of Kentucky, like I said. So I'm going to give a good round of applause to our guest, Don Stevens. Hey, Don.
What's up, guys? I love it.
Thanks for coming on the show again.
Yeah. Oh, well, the last time I kind of joined in.
Yeah, that's true. We had if you were watching one episode, it was when we were in Iowa talking to Todd Mayer. Then Don wanted to step in. And you're like, you know what? Let's have him on the show. And that turned into an actual fun show of debate of Iowa versus Kentucky, and actually gave the deucer and I an idea of, you know what, we're going to eventually do a state versus state type debate. So
I love talking to those guys from Iowa, Kansas. That it's so cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yes, I love it.
Well, Don, for everyone that doesn't know you, can you give a quick little background about yourself?
Yep. Don Stevens from Kentucky, born and raised, northwestern Kentucky, literally right on the Ohio River. That's how north I am. I can be in Indiana in less than 6 minutes. I just got to cross a bridge, basically. So I am right at the top of northwest Kentucky, and it's a pretty fun state, really. bow hunting wise, gun hunting wise, there's a lot of big deer that get killed out of Kentucky. Out of Kentucky.
I remember reading an article that there was, granted, I think you could say it's probably about every state, most likely, but I was reading this article a couple of years ago that they were estimating that the next world record buck was going to come out of Tennessee. Granted, it's not Kentucky, but I'm sure the landscape's kind of similar because I've driven through Kentucky going into Tennessee, but
Yeah.
I see how it's kind of like the same kind of in the ballpark.
I don't know if this guy is going to watch this podcast or not, but there was a guy. He's actually a friend of mine. More of an acquaintance. We're good friends. Joe Welsh. I don't think he'll mind me putting his name out there. He runs I think it's a nonprofit organization called Friends of Sinners here. You guys will have to look it up. He does tons and tons and tons of great work in the community. And he actually, I'm going to go kind of out and say, I think he killed, it was over 200 inches, non-typical. Right here, probably 30 minutes from my house. I'm not sure exactly where. I kind of know where, but, not sure. If you guys get a chance, you can literally, I'm pretty sure like tons and tons of people have put him on their episodes or on their websites for this deer that he's killed. Joe Welsh, Kentucky. It was a freak. I mean, you should have seen this deer. It was half velvet. I mean, the velvet was kind of falling off of him. The scoreable points were, I don't even know what the scoreable points were. There were so many. It was just, like I said, I think it went over 200 inches, and that was after the drying period and everything. It could have, maybe it went a little bit below. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, he killed that about 30 minutes from the house.
Well, hopefully the deucer can see if he can find a good photo of him and share it during the screen and see if he can do that.
If your producer can find one while we're talking, like I said, he had killed a really, really, really nice deer, a once in a lifetime buck, and it all happened during a really, really bad time in his life. Also, I think his mother. Don't quote me on this. I even feel bad for even talking about it because I'm not 100% sure, but I think his mother passed away. And the story was she had told him from a child about because he's always been a hunter. So she had told him, if you see a cardinal, there's always good luck to come. And I think literally in his video that he had released, there was actually a cardinal, and then he kills this once in a lifetime deer, and it's just so cool. It is so cool.
That's awesome to hear, though, man. That's like,
if you guys can check that out, like I said, all I know is his name is Joe Welsh. It might be under Joseph Welsh. I'm not 100% sure, but man, he killed it. It's such a great story. You guys really need to check into that. Not even look into that. Look into his look into what he's doing for the community and look into all that stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, all right, definitely. Is he out there in Kentucky with you, or?
Yeah, he's actually in my hometown here. Yep, Owensboro, Kentucky.
Oh wow.
Owensboro, Kentucky. Yep. He's actually in my hometown. He killed the deer probably 30 minutes from where we live. Like I said, I'm not giving any specifics or anything because we already have enough out of town hunters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there are some really good properties in Kentucky, and maybe your producer can find that and post that buck, because when you see it, you're going to be amazed. It's the coolest deer I think I've ever seen.
I'm texting him right now. He's trying to look for it in the meantime. And then, hey, Deucer, when you do find it, just pop it up during the screen, no matter what we're talking about.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Next, though, let's get first off. If you're listening to this audio on the audio feed, the bucks that you should see, if you can get on YouTube, look at the bucks in this guy's studio. I mean, you have 4 giant bucks. I mean, that one on your way left, his tines don't look that tall, but he's just like an arm's length wingspan. Yeah. That
Oh,
one.
are you talking about not this deer over here?
Yeah, that one right there.
Right. Oh, yeah, right there.
Yep, that one.
Yeah. He actually, that was a surprise buck from, that was 2022. So I'd hunted really hard that year. I hunt hard every year, but I really hunted hard that year. I never had that buck on camera, not one time. And that buck was on the 20th or the 21st of November. I've had a lot of luck during November. And when he actually was 22 and a half inches wide. He's not tall at all. Like he doesn't really, I don't even think he scores. I really don't think he scores.
Huh.
I've never got any of my deer scored or anything, but I don't think he scores at all. He was 22 and a half inches wide, and I seen him coming at me in the deer stand at probably 40-ish, 50-ish yards. Probably 50-ish yards. And I just seen the, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I thought, oh boy. So, and I say, oh boy, like that, but I really was like, oh boy. So I grabbed my bow, and I always True Ball XL. I mean, I love it. It literally one click and it's on your bow, and it stays like hanging on your bow. So I grab my bow and I grab my release, and here he comes straight at me. I mean, dead downwind too. And he cuts off to the right, and I'm sitting there still looking because he's huge. I mean, width-wise. Yeah. But I couldn't – I shot him at right at 40 yards, like 38 to 40 yards. And I couldn't get him to stop because he was chasing a doe, just like dang near every buck I shoot is always chasing a doe. And you do the you try to do like anything you can is bah. I don't even know the words for that, man. But and you sound so silly doing it, but in the woods, and I was already at full draw. I did not get that one on camera. That sucks. I got some of the other ones on camera. But I got him liver, and I clipped one lung. And I probably could have found him on my own, but I had to work the very next morning. So I let him lay for around 6 hours. And my good friend close to me has a dog. Her name's Kenzie. And she brought her dog. And, I mean, that dog found that deer in 30 minutes. We went back out at midnight. I let like 6 hours later, around midnight-ish, and by 1:30, I mean, I had the deer located, and I was packing it out because where I hunt, it's a no four-wheelers, no nothing. It's all foot access only. So that's why I was saying, well, we had talked a little bit off the podcast, and I had told you, I said, my fiance, she will drag that deer cart anywhere. She encourages me. She wants me to don't kill a deer till you come home. But yeah, so that was my closest stand at that property was right at 1 mile, maybe a little over 1 mile is how far. And that's how I had to get him out. And a lot of people will say, oh, why didn't you quarter it up and cape it out in the woods? Well, when it's midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning and I have to work again at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm just trying to get that deer out of there the fastest I can, and I'm not trying to mess the cape up. And a lot of people wouldn't even mount that deer. But to me, he was very special because of just his width and stuff. These are just some of my deer, but
Yeah.
he was a really special deer to me. So,
well, if it's special to you, then heck yeah, fucking mount it. Who cares what anyone else has to say? I mean,
that's another thing. I have a lot of controversial. What I don't even know how to pronounce the term, but argumentative with people and how they choose to kill deer and what they do. Everyone's different, and a lot of hunters need to respect that.
they do, and it's sad to see that. I mean, we talked about this off air, and how as hunters, we have each other's back, but yet we're the first ones to criticize another hunter of why'd you do that? Why did you go that route? Why didn't you wait till you got to next year? It's like, dude, who the fuck are you? Back up and let me do my hunt and let me enjoy it.
Right. And especially bow hunting. And when I say bow hunting, I'm not taking away from people that hunt with crossbows. If you want to hunt with a crossbow, hunt with one. But don't pretend like you're bow hunting. That's just as simple as it gets. I mean, it's a totally different world, and we can get into the most argumentative anything you want to about that. My dad is a lineman. He has been working for the local power company for 33 years. He fell off of a pole. He actually gripped the pole with his fingers, and he ripped his bicep. My dad can't pull back a bow. So he chooses, instead of rifle hunting, there's nothing wrong with that. He wants to hunt with a nice crossbow. More power to him. But that's because he can't pull back a regular bow and stay steady with his arm.
Yeah.
And if you can't stay steady, you can't make a lethal shot. If you can't make a lethal shot, don't shoot. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
So,
no, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you didn't at all. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, one of my buddy hunts with a crossbow, and I make fun of him for it all the time.
It's all fun and games, man.
It is, and it's like, it's just like you said, it's fun and games, and he's perfectly capable of drawing back a bow. He loves to crossbow hunt. That's his thing. So it's like, okay, but I'm gonna make fun of you for it, and then he makes fun of me for other shit too. And it's like this new day and age of where, how dare you say how you feel or give your opinion towards someone else? And it's like, I grew up in an era where it's like you couldn't let small words hurt you. And if you did, then you basically got made fun of because, you let what he said hurt your feelings. And I'm going to tell you, if you're hunting with a crossbow and you perfectly are able to hunt with a bow, I'm going to make fun of you. But
you might need your feelings hurt.
Hunt and go for it, but I'm going to look at you a little differently. Sorry. Not sorry, though.
Everyone is obviously look at the day, look at the time we live in. I mean, you can be what you want. I have a Planet Fitness literally like 5 miles down the road. I have other gyms all over, but they're like 15 minutes away. I have a Planet Fitness 5 miles down the road. Huge controversy about this. I don't know, some male in the women's locker room at Planet Fitness. They're being sued, hundreds of millions. They're losing customers. Guess what? I'm going to tell you right now, man, my son's 11 years old. He goes with me a bunch and after school and stuff, and he loves it, and we hang out. And he's not a female, so I don't really have to worry about this too much as I would if I was a girl dad. You know what I mean? But I can tell you, if I was a girl dad and I went into that locker room at Planet Fitness and they had that stuff going on, I don't know if I would make a scene, but I would definitely just take my kid out there. I probably wouldn't make a video. But either way, people are hating on stuff all the time. It doesn't matter. This just all goes to show you that no matter what you do, someone is going to have something bad to say. This guy wants to be a woman. This woman wants to be a guy. This crossbow hunter is it all kind of ties in together if you really put the big picture together. Really and truly. So
Yeah.
it's, do you say something? Do you let it go? My biggest thing is don't act like you're someone you're not. If you hunt with a rifle and you hunt with a crossbow, and that's how you kill deer, put that crossbow on your deer and take a picture.
Yeah.
That's all. That's simply all I'm saying. I mean, don't post a picture of a 60 or 70 yard crossbow kill with a buck, like proud, and not have your weapon of choice laying there. I don't see it, man.
It's like you're trying to play it's like you're trying to play both sides of the coin at one time, and it's like
we have a lot of people here in Kentucky that I feel like do that, and I'm not calling anyone out. I mean, those people probably know who they are if they see this podcast. I don't know if they do or not, but I can become very controversial with stuff like that because I work really hard for the deer I shoot.
And you should be proud of every deer that you shoot. You don't have to worry about whatever people say. And I just want to make it no, I'm not going to go out seeking out and make fun of you on the internet. I'm not going to do that and be behind the screen saying, oh, you shot that with a crossbow? Wow, what the fuck are you doing? No, what I'm saying is if I'm talking to you like over the phone or the video chat and I come to know you and come to find out that you hunt with a crossbow, all right, you and I are going to make some jokes about it. But I'm not. Yeah. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna see that you shot a deer and you got your crossbow in front of you. One, I'm gonna think, okay, he's got the balls enough to put his crossbow there because of this new day and age of crossbows and this and that. I'm gonna just say, dude, awesome buck. Are you happy with it? Heck yeah, man. Fuck, that's all that matters.
That's right, and there will never be a bad thing said about it. Never.
No.
I will respect that guy no matter what.
Yeah, he had the courage enough to be like, yeah, I shot with a crossbow or I shot with a rifle. And I don't hunt with a rifle. I never plan on it. The day I can't physically draw back a bow, I'll switch to a crossbow.
Right.
But because I can't draw back a bow. I mean, my dad, he can't draw back a bow anymore. It sucked for him to do it. He was using finger releases the entire life growing up. And now he physically can't, no matter how low of the poundage we set, he physically just cannot get past like a halfway point because then it's just going to hurt his shoulder.
Well, plus you really need, you need at least that 40 pounds. I'll say 40 because I think 40 is a lethal kill shot at a smaller distance, no matter what, with a good broadhead. Yeah. But you need at least 40 pounds, in my opinion.
Right.
You might be able to do it with 30 at a close distance with a good broadhead if your kid's a good shot or if your dad or whoever can. I'm not 100% sure. I watch the Ranch Fairy. Have you ever seen the Ranch Fairy?
No.
All right, look him up on YouTube. He's huge into the what is the? I've lost all track of mine now. But
if you take TikTok, I swear.
I do have TikTok, but
man, oh my gosh.
No, listen, it's a love-hate relationship. I'll tell you about TikTok here in a minute.
Right. Look,
I get on there maybe once a week.
Here in a second. Because you're not going to like my response.
Well, so for everybody listening and everything, I kind of encourage them to go watch the Ranch Fairy on YouTube.
I've heard of them. I just haven't seen their videos or anything.
He knows his shit.
Yeah.
You listen to that guy and he'll steer you in the right direction, really. I don't completely go off him. I love Chris B. I watch Chris B a lot. I've met him 3 or 4 times. I've got to personally hang out with him a couple times outside of Nashville because we go to the NWTF every year, and him and his girlfriend Caitlin are there. And I've gotten really fortunate because we know someone that films for some of these people. And since we know them, we kind of get to go a little, I shouldn't say behind the scenes, but we get to go after the NWTF hours are over and go out maybe to like Jason Aldean's or go out to dinner and I get to talk to the Seek One guys, and I met, Lee. He's a great guy. And there's a lot of controversy with him too, with his deer, and he is a great guy. Chris B. Do you know who Chris B is?
Yeah.
All right, Chris B. He's a really, really good guy. His girlfriend Caitlin Moss, she works her tail end off to get her videos. I really don't think Chris even helps her that much. I think she runs her stuff full time by herself for the most part. And I'll tell you another guy, one of my favorite people in this entire world that I got to know was Jay Maxwell. Have you ever heard of Jay Maxwell?
The name sounds familiar.
All right, look him up. Anybody in here, look Jay Maxwell up. He was one of the, I don't know if he was a founder or whatever, but he was part of Seek One there in the really earlier years. And he's branched out and started his own production and YouTube 4610. I don't know how to do it. I know it's like a 4-6, and then I think it's TEN. I don't think it's 46 like, with the numbers and stuff. I think it's 4610. That guy, he's probably one of the most genuine people I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, he gave me his phone number. He texts me, and I text him regularly, and he lives in Georgia. And if any of you all haven't checked him out, check out Jay Maxwell 4610 Productions. The guy's a turkey slayer. He's killed huge deer. I think he has a world record deer actually out of maybe Georgia. You just have to watch his episodes.
Yeah.
Super good dude.
We had a lot of people from Florida. We were talking to people from Florida.
Okay.
A lot of people were like, man, if I go to hunt one place, it's going to be Georgia. So everyone loves Georgia to hunt, apparently.
I don't know if I would recommend people hunting Georgia for deer necessarily, but turkey, hogs. I could be completely wrong, but I don't. Okay, here's my good buddy Cam, Outdoors with Cam, the high FOC cut on contact broadheads. Yeah, so Cam is a huge Magnus broadheads.
Heck yeah, Magnus broadheads #1.
Yeah,
anyway.
I think I texted you, Cam. He is a huge Magnus broadhead cut on contact guy, and the guy you had on your podcast for Magnus last week,
Derek.
I think Cam actually sent him. I think maybe he sent him a video or sent him something. He might type in the comment exactly what he did, but he sent him a whole new pack of broadheads because one was not right. That's the type of people you really want to do business with. Who wouldn't?
Oh, I know. Magnus broadheads, they are just the attention to detail they have on a lot of things. It's amazing. And the customer service they have there, it's amazing. It's just great team down there.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. My buddy Cam was he was telling me about these Magnus broadheads, and this has been a long time ago, and he kept getting me to go. And so I've always shot Exodus QADs. I love Exodus QAD. I love them. And I recently switched because I met a guy named Darren and a couple other people that were shooting Black Widows. So I switched to Black Widow broadheads, and they're phenomenal too. I mean, I don't have a bad thing to say about Black Widow broadheads whatsoever. They're great broadheads. The only thing I have to say, I shouldn't even say badly. This isn't bad to say, but there's some shipping problems with them. I think they're coming from Canada. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're coming from Canada. The last email I got whenever I kind of complained a little bit about my shipping, 2 weeks worth when it should have been here in 7 days. I got a complaint about that. So I switched back to my Exodus, but I did love the Black Widow broadheads. I have nothing bad to say about them. They're great. Look them up. Black Widow broadheads. They're really, really good.
I don't mean to. So I have talk about censorship at its fucking finest.
Uh-oh.
If you are watching this as of right now, we were streaming to our Facebook page and YouTube.
Right.
I got an alert while you were talking. They removed this content off the Facebook page. Or if it was just on my... That is freaking sad, man.
I wonder
So
why.
they do not like what we were saying here at Whitetail Advantage. That just goes to prove that this country basically is not free anymore. You can't say what you want. And if they don't like it, then they're going to remove your crap. So
what was the comment that got it removed? Was it me about the broadheads or
no? They do not like what we were saying apparently. So that is going to be looked upon. So as of right now, you're just on YouTube. So talk about, wow, that really pisses me off. Talk about you cannot say what you want because we go against their rule. Whatever.
Has that happened to you before? My son, literally, my son is watching this as well. He's 11. Let's go. You're doing so good. Oh, yeah. So he is watching. My son is watching on YouTube still. Asher, I love you, man.
Yeah, we're still on YouTube, but apparently Facebook doesn't like what we have to say. And you've got to be this country.
So do you want to start this over on Facebook and say something else, or what do you want to do with this
we'll keep
podcast?
going.
Because I'm ready to go.
I'm just furious now that saying how this.
Well,
like I said, you can't say what you want anymore. People don't like. Facebook doesn't like what you have to say.
All right. I just got another text. I'm watching. The video stopped live.
Well, we're on YouTube, everyone, still. So if anything, we're just going to be on YouTube for it because apparently Facebook doesn't like what we have to say. So like that's just said, you got the Facebook.
Maybe I said something wrong.
That's just sad. You can't say what you want, and it just goes to prove you say one little thing, you hurt someone's feelings. Oh no, they cancel you. So let's talk about this cancel culture bullshit. No, it's people don't like this new cancer culture that we created, this new PC culture that we created. So now you can't say how you feel or what your opinion because you're going to hurt someone's feelings, and then you're going to get canceled and canceled. So you know what? This goes to prove they don't like what we have to say. You know what? I'm going to continue to say what I want. And I'll find my own way to get this show out there. If I got to continue to be on just YouTube, it's going to be on fucking YouTube. And don't get me down started with TikTok. I'm sorry, Don. I'm pissed now because of seeing that little notification.
I'm pissed now too because I don't know how many viewers we had, but I had quite a few, I think, that were going to tune in to Facebook tonight.
Well,
I don't know if I said something wrong with the broadheads.
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you at all. They just don't like what we had to say. You and I probably together. It's oh man, I don't.
Well, you know what? Has this happened to you before?
No, this is the first.
With me.
Yeah. So you gotta be. I'm not mad because the show still continuing to go on YouTube. So if anyone can help, like I said, it's on my personal page too. Wow, that is just weird. Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, when I started this at the intro of this page, of the videos. Put your quarter in the slot machine. I said the show can get controversial. Help share the show, because apparently people don't like what we have to say, and they're trying to cancel the show. So you know what? I don't care what they have to say. I want to continue to speak my mind. And
Leave your feelings at the gate.
Exactly. Sorry that people they get their feelings hurt. My feelings.
Well, I feel bad because I feel like it's me. I feel like maybe I said something and that got you off of Facebook.
No, it wasn't you at all. No.
You don't think it was anything I said?
Let's go. Let's just continue on with the show. We'll go down this rant on some other time. But
hey, we can always stop and restart and put it right back on Facebook and see what happens.
It says your main.
I am good with whatever you want to do. What's that?
Yeah. Nudity and sexual, whatever actions we've taken. I'll review this later tonight, so that's anxious to see. Let's get into hunting. Let's get back to hunting. So, are you more of a public land or a private land type of guy?
Well, I've hunted both. I've hunted public and I've hunted private. I have quite a bit of private land around me. I've hunted it quite a bit. I'm very fortunate with my job that I am right now. I've been with my job for this job at 8 years. I'm a United Steelworker. So USW, United Steelworker. I am very, very fortunate to where my work lets me bow hunt. And I can bow hunt the property that I work on. And it's bow hunt only, other than I think there is a little bit of black powder, just in the black powder season, but that's it. No rifles. So,
is this your son?
Yep. Yep.
Well, thanks for being a fan of the show.
Yeah, he's a great kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe they took us off YouTube. That's a little while, or off of Facebook.
I don't know how. I'm sorry. I'm listening to your conversation, but I'm still just kind of floored of what the fuck, man. I don't care. Excuse my language, but
it's okay.
It just proves. It just goes to show.
My son just texted and said it's rigged.
It is rigged. You can't speak your voice. And now you got this, like I said, this cancel culture bullshit, and it's fucking annoying. So and then so now, like I said, let me get into social media. Let me get into social media in this aspect of it real quick. Everyone that watches the show or knows me knows that I can't stand TikTok and shorts and reels. They all say, in my opinion, it's the downfall of human society because we can't pay attention. The videos are designed for 15 to 30-second videos. It's designed to make you stupid. It's designed to make you less intelligent. It's designed to make you so you don't educate yourself. So then all you're doing is feeding yourself with fake dopamine levels, trying to get that quick fix, and you can't pay attention for anything longer than a minute, and it's giving you so much stress, anxiety. It's like, oh, I can't focus. It's not giving me what I want right away. So then you score off something new, and that's what the freaking government wanted. And then you have people watching TikTok, feeding into the sheep culture, and then you have. Trying to find the word I want to use. You're just falling in line of what the government wants you to do. You're not educating yourself, like I said. And that also leads into why hunting is dying, because you don't have kids out there wanting to go hunt and put in the time and work. They just want to sit on their butt and watch freaking TikTok all day and watch TV instead of going outside, getting some fresh air, enjoying themselves and being healthy. And you're just making this new generation a bunch of lazy fucks, and they don't want to do anything to better themselves. And it's sad to see that's what's a problem in just society itself, and what's wrong in hunting. We keep saying, well, why is the hunting numbers down so low? Well, I can fucking tell you, it's because people want to create shorts, reels, and TikTok videos. They want to make sure that they get all these fancy likes. No. And they say, well, if you really want to create and reach the new generation, then you got to make those videos so you can expand your brand to them. No, I'm not going to freaking bend my knee at Whitetail Advantage just to please and try and get more likes and shares. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not feeding into what's wrong with America. If you want to go out there and do that in your own brand and feed into what's going wrong in this country, then go right ahead. But you're not going to see me doing it.
Right.
That's what's wrong. And it's sad to see, and it's frustrating to see that, well, that's how you got to do it. It's, yeah, I agree with you. And they don't want to stand up and say how they feel. Right. I freaking hate TikTok. I think it's destroying your brain. And they say, like I said, you're just.
I agree with you on a lot of those certain points that you're saying. I do agree with you 100% on a lot of them. When I say I watch TikTok, I mean, when I go lay down at night and get ready to go to bed, I will put a little TikTok on and I'll scroll through some videos to get tired. And I'll be like, and it's all the algorithm too, because all my algorithm on TikTok is mainly like hunting and stuff. So I'll watch tons of like hunting videos on TikTok, and it kind of just puts me to sleep at nighttime. Do I watch it during the day? No. We all have too much going on during the day to worry about any of that. And I agree with you 100% about the kids. They definitely don't need to be on TikTok. Not at all. I don't think kids need to be on TikTok until they're a certain age to where they can. In my household, that would be with your grades. If your grades are good, then you can do your own TikTok, whatever you want to do type ordeal. But it's on your time after your schoolwork's done, after your grades are done, and it's going to be monetized. Like, we're going to look at it. We're going to make sure there's no bad content going on. You know, other than that, I don't really care. But, yeah, I do agree with you on all the other aspects of TikTok, no doubt.
It's just sad to see. And
a lot of people, what is it? China. Everyone thinks China's infiltrating us, and if people don't have bigger brains to understand that, like, what's really going on in the world, I mean, we have. Look at any video you want. I know where nuclear missile silos are in the United States, and you're worried about TikTok interfering with that. Everyone knows it's public information. There's a lot of stuff hidden, obviously, but I do think that it's something you can be creative on, and I've seen a lot of people make money on it. But as far as the youth and stuff, I mean, you need to make sure your kids are doing what they need to do. Number one, first, good in school, the academics, then maybe if they want to play sports. And then at the end of the day, if they want to do a little TikTok video or something, or, you know, that's fine, in my opinion. That's not everyone's opinion. Like I said, school comes first. And once your school is there, if you're making good grades, you're doing what you're supposed to do. If you're in sports, you're playing good. Do everything in an order to where a TikTok would be last, basically, at nighttime if you wanted to watch it or something. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
I just see that the value that we got going wrong, and because nowadays it's just girls in bikinis showing off their ass and tits all day long, and you see these kids and that's all they look at, and it's the value that we're not instilling in these kids, and just the value you teach into any one of these days in life. It's we're looking at these half naked women all damn day long, and you
need to be focused on other stuff.
Huh?
You need to be focused on a lot of other things than that.
Exactly. Why aren't you trying to better yourself and be a better person, more contributing to society? No, you want to freaking watch these half naked girls and help feed them into their pockets. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had a freaking Photoshop body, don't get me wrong, I'd probably be figuring out some way to do it. I mean, that's your hustle. Go right ahead. Don't get me wrong. But it's just like the value is just way out in left field these days. And people don't want to see the reality of it. And they don't care. They don't want to better themselves. They want to keep saying, well, this is what I see what's wrong. And they don't want to do anything about it. Well, the first off thing is you're seeing these half naked women and you're,
really and truly, let's just get back to the basics. Everyone just needs to focus on going to the woods. That is the most peaceful, calming, best exercise that you can get. Really and truly.
You can't beat being out in the woods. Nope. And I don't get how people don't want to go out there at all. I mean, when I go out there in the hunting world, in the woods and hunt or just do anything, I have my phone in my back pocket only because I need to make sure if my wife needs me for something for the kids. Outside of that, I'm not looking at my phone. I'm enjoying doing whatever. She knows I dedicated X amount of hours on each day to go do what we like to call our woodland duties. I named it something else. She's like, do you have any woodland duties you're supposed to do this weekend? I said, what the fuck are you talking about? She said, woodland duties. You're going out there and you're doing some cutting trees down. I said, land management? She said, no, it's woodland duties. I said, we're calling it woodland duties now.
Woodland duties sounds good. Yeah. Like I said, I literally couldn't have asked for a better I met Justice a little over 5 years ago, and I had been previously married for 8 years, and my son is 11, and man, our family's great. Everything's good. But I couldn't ask for a better person that I met because she encourages me so much. I mean, to the point sometimes, I don't know if you've been there or not, but I definitely have been, especially after 8 or 9 days straight, like on vacation, hunting hard in the woods. She is literally there telling me, like, you got to get up in the morning. You have to go. Like, what happens if you don't? Like, she's always that voice in the back of my head, and it's always, and then, you know, she'll make silly little remarks like, don't come home without a deer tonight. So, you know, all that stuff sticks with me, and she encourages me so much. She understands, like, there's nothing wrong with women making plans and this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
But she understands when it's deer season, it's deer season. I mean, if I can make it to an event, we'll go together 100%, and she's very thankful for that. But if I can't, her family knows. Dawn's deer hunting. Dawn is in the woods. Dawn is trying to kill a deer. I mean, that's just the way it is in awesome. My household. And I mean, we live a great life, and we have great communication, and I mean, it's just great all the way around.
No, that's awesome to meet somebody like that, and I think it's hard to find someone at all that's your right hand person. Yeah. And for me, you were lucky enough to find that person. I was fortunate enough to find that person.
That's great.
Granted, my wife is a little different. She's in the sense of I'll text her at the end of the day or when I get home. She's like, did you see anything? I said, yeah, I saw a couple of 8-pointers, but I wanted to let them go. She goes, what the fuck? I want deer meat. Go back out there and shoot those motherfuckers.
Go back out there and shoot one. Yeah.
She's like, you can't eat the antlers. It's like, you're right. But they just didn't get my heartbeat going.
Well, I'm fortunate enough to where I normally it's not usually a hard task for me. Sometimes it is. Don't get me wrong. It's hard everywhere. It is for people I know. But I'm fortunate enough to where I can at least harvest one doe a year too. And I'm allowed, in Kentucky, I think I'm allowed 2 or 3 does and 1 buck. There's 1 buck tag and I think 2 doe tags. I could be wrong about that, but for sure 2 doe tags and 1 buck tag. So I try to at least shoot 1 doe, and I mean, my main focus is obviously on killing a buck that I'm after.
Right.
And I'll tell you another thing that's really cool is not one single time. This is crazy. Not one time have I ever killed a deer that I've been after on trail camera. Not once. I have no deer on trail camera that you see anywhere in my house. I do. I have them on trail camera, but it's not the deer I was after.
Oh man.
I have never once. Well, I have set eyes on a deer and I thought, that's him. I'm going after him. He is the one. It never plays out like that for me because I've told you, I think maybe in a previous video that I was in, but I'm not letting deer that get my heartbeat walk. And if you feel like that and you're in your state, I mean, that's on you. Me, I'll shoot what I want and I'll go to a different state and I'll hunt, you know?
Yeah. That's a whole nother topic.
Yep.
Of why? Well, I don't know if we want to keep going down what pisses me off in the hunting world and world itself, but so for instance, here in Michigan, you get 2 bucks. One can be it's like 3 points on one side, or at least it's got to be 4 points on one side. It's what I call a quote unquote management buck is what I call it. And then the arrow can be whatever you want. And then you get a doe tag with it. But then after like December 12th, you can get like 12 bucks and stuff like that. I mean 12 does, sorry. I've been trying to shoot a doe for shit. Looking back on it, I don't think I ever harvested a doe. Yeah, I've never harvested a doe. I shot at a doe. We never found her. I hit her in that no man's land of right between the spine and below it. But the doe here, and I've said it before, the doe here in Michigan are just like freaking Einsteins out in the woods. And there's just, I've gone after them. Don't get me wrong. I just can't put a freaking arrow through one of them because they're so freaking smart.
The does are that smart here too. It's almost harder to kill a doe than it is. I'm not going to say than a mature buck by any means. I'm not going to say that, but does are extremely hard to kill too. People don't understand that. Now, I mean, with a rifle, I will blow one down at 115, 120 yards all day long. No, there's not easily.
Yeah.
Easily. But I'm saying if you're hunting with a bow and you want to get them in within, 40 yards, preferably 30. I would 20, preferably 20. What am I saying? But 20, 30. It's a lot harder than what people think. And I don't know who all watches this podcast and everything, but if you pick a bow up, it's a whole nother world. I mean, it's a whole nother world. And I'm sure you've talked about that in your previous videos.
Oh yeah, but I'm just shooting a bow itself. It's like, I wouldn't say artwork, but it's freaking majestic. Like it's just the pure knocking the arrow on your string and then putting the quiver. I mean, putting your release on it and then drawing back. Just the sheer feeling drawing back and then locking in feels amazing. Then once you hit it, that button, and you let that arrow fling, and if you're just shooting at a target, that's just amazing. Just practicing, it's just the sheer joy and inner feeling I get from doing that is just, it gets me going every day. And then to put that into hunting and to shoot a deer, that's a feeling outside of my kids being born. It's the best freaking feeling.
Right. It is. I shoot a lot of 3D too. A lot of 3D. I had a, what was it? A TRX. I think I had a TRX 40. I was shooting some indoor, and I was still shooting 3D with that. I literally just swapped back to my hunting bow, and I started signing up in the bow hunter class.
Yeah.
Anywhere you look at, you can find the bow hunter class in all of these, and you can shoot in the bow hunter class. It's a lot tougher, but you can do it. I think the only like requirement is your stabilizer. I think it's just got to be like 12 inches or below. But it's a fun class to shoot in, and you shoot against some really tough competitors in that class.
Yeah.
Real tough competitors.
I just got my new bow. I'm not going to take any photos of it right now. We're going to be
What'd you get?
I'll say this. It's the Phase 4. Let me just say.
Okay.
Even when I pictured it in my mind of how cool it was going to look like.
Yeah.
Seeing it in person was just, ha, 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 ha. Even my bow guy was like, that bow looks fucking sharp.
Phase 4 is a great bow, man.
It's awesome. I mean, I said before, I tried the shooting the lift. That bow sucks, in my opinion. The draw cycle on it is a piece of crap.
A lot of people. Well, so do you understand how it works? Like 100%? Do you know how it works between the Phase 4 and the lift?
Like, what do you mean? Like the cam wise and stuff?
Well, yeah, you just said the draw cycle. So
yeah, they wanted it shorter and lighter, and they wanted to pack it on with speed.
Right. So if you want a shorter, lighter bow, your cam cannot be smooth with that light of a bow. I mean, unless you go carbon. But
right.
The draw cycle kind of does stink a little bit. Can't argue with you on that, but I would still shoot it. But I'm still shooting the V3X 33.
Okay. Yeah.
And what arrows are you shooting?
I have the gold tip Hunter Pros.
Oh, cool. All right. See, I was shooting the gold tip whenever I was doing my 3D stuff, but my hunting setup, I'm shooting the FMJ, the 5mm.
Oh, okay. I almost got those, but then I switched over to I saw these new Hunter Pros and I was like, oh man, these are freaking awesome.
I love them. I don't know if I'll ever switch to anything other than those FMJs. They fly pretty fast and they hit so hard that I'm not too worried about how fast my arrow flies. I'm more worried about how hard it hits the target.
Yeah.
And if you have a good broadhead and a really hard hitting arrow, a heavy impact arrow, I mean, that does more damage than anything, in my opinion, because if you can shoot a deer at Matthews says they're what? I don't know how fast they are. Just say 350 50 foot per second or whatever. That arrow zips right through the deer. They're going to run. I mean,
yeah. And
I would rather have a harder hitting impact to let them know I'm damaged, and they'll slow down sooner, in my opinion, of looking for deer. They slow down sooner and sit down or fall over sooner.
I like the punch in it. Yeah, I'm not
just a heavy punch, a heavy hitting arrow. Yep.
Well, Don, don't want to take up too much of your time. We're winding up the show for tonight. I know we kind of got off topic there for a little bit, but nothing.
I'm sorry about what happened on Facebook.
It sucks, but we can dive into that, whatever. But with that being said, was there a story you didn't get to share or a topic we didn't get to talk about tonight that you wanted to before we let you go?
Not at all, man. I appreciate you having me on. I don't have anything else to share. I've got a bunch of messages on my phone that says I can't watch your video.
Yeah.
I do have a bunch of messages. I can't watch your video. So
Fucking Facebook. I'm gonna scream at you here in a minute.
Well, I'm sorry for what I may have said. I'm not sure what I done or.
No, it's not you. Don't apologize at all. It's not your fault at all. It's just
I say what I say, and
I say what we say we want here too. It's nothing. You didn't say anything, so don't ever think that it's not your fault at all. It's our fault. No, it's not our fault. I mean, it's Facebook's fault. So fuck them. Anyways,
maybe next time I need to come on here and yes, sir.
Yeah, I need yes, sir, and no, sir responses.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Brad. I'm sorry, man. Seems like this may have went to hell in a handbasket. So, I think it was fun though.
I had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast.
You want to have me? If you want to have me on again and get canceled, that's cool too.
Oh, we're definitely gonna have you back on the show again. Don't worry.
I say what I mean. Oh, one more thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if these guys will ever watch or not, but the bow hunter die guys. Have you ever heard of bow hunter die?
No, I don't think I can.
My God. Bowhunting.com, bow hunter die. You all check them out too. I literally watch them on YouTube nonstop. They're good guys.
Yeah. I'll check them out later tonight then.
Check it out.
All right, Don. Producer lets you go for the night. But I just want to say thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for taking the time to come talk with us. And yeah, man, I can't say thank you enough, Don.
Yep. Sorry for whatever happened.
That's all right. We'll talk to you later, Don. Well, I'm just going to go off on saying a giant fuck you to Facebook. Doesn't like what we have to say, so you cancel our show on your platform. Well, I'll find another way. I can't say F you enough to Facebook. You want to try and cancel what people have to say because you don't like what they're saying. You're not following their guidelines. And like I said, this country isn't fucking free anymore. The fact that you can't speak your mind because you're scared of what someone's going to think of what you say, or you're going to hurt someone's feelings, and the feelings get hurt. Oh, I didn't like what they had to say, so we're going to cancel it. Really? And tonight is just case in point. If someone's feelings get hurt, they try to shut you up. So they try to make you, well, you got to follow our rules. I'm not following your fucking rules anymore, Facebook. If I'm not going to be allowed to have the Whitetail Advantage show doing live shows on your page anymore, well, guess what? Fuck you. I'm not going to do anything with Facebook anymore. We're just going to do our stuff on Instagram for our photos and talk with people on there. And then we're going to have our live shows on YouTube only. And if we get canceled from there, we'll figure out some other way. The fact that you don't, like I said, that it's frustrating to see that that's what happens when you try speaking your mind. And I know we have other shows lined up. The producer and I, we've talking about it. We got some other shows lined up where we're starting a new type of show through Whitetail Advantage of, we're going to be calling it most likely, we're not going to, you know what? We're not going to tell you the name of that series, but it's basically a pre-recorded show that we get on and we basically talk about our feelings, our opinions, and we speculate what's true and not true, and what's going wrong in America and what's going wrong in the hunting community. And it's sad to see that Facebook wants to take our word away, our voice away. And nobody's doing that anymore nowadays. Nobody wants to talk because they're scared of getting canceled. Because it's cancer culture bullshit. Anyways, I'm frustrated. That frustrates the shit out of me. Anyways, with that being said, please, everyone, if tonight doesn't prove that we need your help to share the show, to get the word out about hunting, and help spread the word of how we can fix things that are going wrong, please put your quarter in the slot machine and please share the show. We'll be back on for tomorrow's show. episode 60, I believe, with our guest, Alan. And if anything, we're probably not going to be on Facebook. We're probably going to be on just exclusively on YouTube for our YouTube live show. But with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Put your cord in the slot machine, and let's take us out, Deucer.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Whitetail Advantage Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you next time.